I just need to say this. I need people to understand that people on the left, like myself, want the same things, by and large, of people on the right. And I am not talking about this extreme group that wants a white ethno-Christian nationalist nation, okay? I'm not talking about those people, okay? Let's just put that up front. I'm talking about the fact that most people across political lens, they want to not have crime and high rates of violence in their communities. They want good public schools that are producing intelligent, competent students that can go out and be successful and make a life for themselves. They want to be able to take care of their families, own their own home, or at least be able to afford to rent a home and feed their families. And if possible, if they choose to, grow their families. Most people want that, okay? Most people do not want violent criminals that have come here from another nation to reside in this country. That is not an extremist thing to say. But when I watch the methods that are being done by this administration, where they are deporting people that have legal status, where they are creating claims around these people that have legal status to deport them to El Salvadorian prisons in another nation without due process, or to detain them without any communications to their families for extended period of times and keep them in horrific conditions without due process, that is not something that either of us should want. Because you are not actually getting criminals off the streets. You are harming families. You are harming our economy. You are creating an environment where people who do work and flourish and do amazing things in this country for this country are fearful to do that, are fearful to travel, not even across state lines, but, in and out of the country should they need to. That we all want fraud, waste, and abuse to not exist in our federal government or in our state government for that matter. We want to know that every dollar that is being pulled out of our hardworking dollars is being used for good, is going to something that is benefiting the whole, that is going to make sure that we have good infrastructure, that's going to make sure that we have good schooling, that is going to make sure that our legislators are taking care of the things that matter most to us. But we can also simultaneously look at DOGE and see that they are doing mass cuts, many of which are illegal, which is costing them more money in legal fees. We're paying millions upon millions of dollars to Elon and his staff. We have to look at the fact that countless employees have been on extended periods of leave and they're getting paid their full employment. They're getting paid their benefits. None of the things they're doing are actually saving money, and none of the things they have found has actually been deemed as fraud. They've walked back every claim. We can agree that we want the same things. Most of the Republicans that live in my district, that live in my community, want the same things as I do for our community. We just have a different way of getting there in our minds. I sat in a room every month for the last year, in a room of 35 people with different ideologies, different political leanings, different families, living in different regions of my own state, and they see through a different lens. And you know what I found out? We all basically want the same things, but we had vastly different ways of thinking about getting there. It is okay to admit that the party that you elected that is doing massive damage to small businesses, to rural farmers, small farmers, to grandma and grandpa, to some of the most vulnerable citizens in this country, not only here, but abroad, you can acknowledge, you know what, guys, the way you're doing things isn't really working. That's okay. You can also acknowledge that the left still supports the things that you support. We just don't agree with the method that is happening. Both can be true at the same time. Stop saying if someone is condemning the way that deportation is, oh, you want criminals in the country? No, I don't. But I don't want good people that aren't criminals to be harmed unconstitutionally because of the way things are being done. Oh, you want fraud, waste, and abuse in the country, in the government? No, I don't. But the way it's being handled right now, it's not actually finding fraud, waste, and abuse. It's not actually eliminating it. This is the way you need to be engaging in everyday conversations. No, I agree with you. I want those things gone. But is that actually what's happening?